Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in, my friends. You know who it is. It's Sean Hill, your organizer of the ADOS Action Group. And this is, of course, you know what it is. It's a Monday night. So it couldn't be anything else but the ADOS news you can use. But guess what, guys, friends and family? As you come in, you know what I want. I want that excitement. I want that engagement. Share, share, share. Jump in the comments. We got some hot topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. So I definitely want to hear what you have to say. And as a special treat just for you, and not just for this week, hopefully, will be my co-host going forward, Miss Jamila Bay. Jamila, will you come in and tell the people a little bit about who you are, just so they know your beautiful face?
Oh my goodness. Wow. See, now my head is big. I'm not going to be able to get the sweater off later. Thank you for having me, Sean. It is an honor and a delight. I'm Jamila Bay, and I am a journalist based in Washington, D.C. I am someone who has been covering the First Amendment for a very long time. I've been covering politics since the Clinton administration. And to be blunt, yeah, it's hard out here for a journalist these days. However, there are a lot of stories that I deeply believe are not being told properly. I host a show that airs in Washington, D.C., and you can hear it in Baltimore and Annapolis, where, and as people who don't live in DC call it the DMV. I'm on 88. Forgive me. Oh, I'm giving the wrong. Oh, I don't work there no more. My bad. No, 89.3. I'm on WPFW, the Pacifica Network here in DC every Thursday, and my show there is called the Sex, Politics, and Religion Hour. SPAR, Spar with Jamila, and I love to talk about all things that make a difference and get out there. I think the time is now to be asking more questions, to be sharing more information, and to question everything. Everything. We recognize that there are a lot of issues right now that the narrative does not have the likes of you and me in it, and that's a problem. So I am really grateful to you for being so active in this movement and recognizing that there are great opportunities to tell better stories and get better information out there.
Absolutely. And I look forward to you and I just partnering and this just growing and growing. This is just the first episode of what I hope will be many as we continue just I think sometimes maybe the phrase the new black media is just it's kind of so used so often that's kind of watered down. But I think all of us have an opportunity to be that media, right? All of us have a story to tell. And so that's what I hope we're going to get into it. I believe me. I know people like, come on, stop talking. Okay, we're going to get into it. But my thing is, everybody has a story to tell. And what I hope our show will be is an opportunity, a platform for the regular ADOS person to get out here and be able to tell their story. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Thank you, everybody that is sharing the show. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody that's jumping in to the chat. Certainly appreciate that as well. And speaking of jumping into it, let's get it right. Let's get it on. Let's get right into it. Well,
hey,
we knew there was going to be fallout. We knew it was coming. The minute that Kamala announced that she was not going to be continuing with her, presidential run, her presidential campaign, we knew it was coming. And just like night follows day, here it came. And so the white supremacy minions, the white supremacy masters, should I say, engaged their minions. And we knew the onslaught was going to be here. This is probably, I won't say probably, this is just the first salvo of many to come. So let's not be unaware or unsurprised. So Joy Reid kicked her show off, and she had Digital Sister. We've already had some problems with Digital Sister before. But we knew that wasn't going to be too far behind. And so they got on the air, and they discussed about, now we have this disinformation going on, and look at these just these groups. These groups are just out here spreading this about poor Kamala. Oh, isn't this terrible? So you got to be on the lookout for them. They just don't want, and just she just went on and on. Well, actually, this digital sister just went on and on. But so let me just give you the broadest platform. And we got and please stay tuned because we're gonna be talking about Oprah Winfrey too. We're gonna get to her. We're gonna get to Noprah. But before we do that, what is your take? I shared a little bit of the video with you. What was your take on what you saw?
Here's the thing, and I want to give a little bit of background to help people better understand what this is. I'm not speaking for Joyanne Reid. I'm not speaking for Digital Sister, but to understand, Digital Sister is somebody who looks at the data, who looks at the footprint of various issues or whatnot. So when there's hashtag ADOS, she's somebody who can look and track and see, okay, here's when the peak of interest here was. We have this many impressions on this day, this many impressions on that time, and blah blah blah. Now, one of the things that we need to know, particularly as Black American people, is that uh, since we were forced to be here, we have set the stage for culture, we have set the stage for politics, and a great many other things. So as we go, things follow. What does that mean for ADOS? Well, anytime that hashtag, those issues start coming up, you have Russian influences, disinformation campaigns, bots that will glom onto that. And just, it's not even about putting out disinformation. It's not about arguing the narrative. It's simply about churning the water to make it muddy so it's unclear and nobody knows what's happening. That is the aim of a lot of this discord. We know that these Russian companies, we know that some of the companies in the US that have no interest in truth, they just want to put forth a narrative, love to stir it up and make it confused. When we see it being used and glom on to ADOS, and you have all these people pretending to be Black people or whatnot, um, I speak Black English. I know when I'm reading something that somebody is trying to pretend to be, but a lot of people don't. And sadly, I would argue that because there are not enough of the likes of me in various newsrooms, you have these mainstream media outlets that are saying, "Oh, the ADOS movement is Russian bots or whatever." It's like, no, 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 no. I will concede that Russian bots might glom on, but I, in theory, depending on the year, could have had four enslaved grandparents. Okay, I come from we who have a distinct claim here in these United States. Calling oneself, as Yvette and Tone have popularized ADOS. For the past near 20 years, I've called myself a descendant of enslaved Africans. It ain't new. It's not something that we don't know we are. It's just that Black folks, without whom Twitter would not exist, but whatever, that's a whole other show. We need to talk about that. Um, Black folks being politically active and going to social media and claiming, hey, I am distinct here. I have a claim here. I'm not from Canada, because those are Black Americans too. They're North Americans just like we are, but we who live in these United States have a designation that is shorthand for the debt which is owed us. And we are making waves by making that known. So the disinformation comes out when those who don't understand it and can't parse it out are saying, "Oh yeah, well, let's look at Russian bots." And it's like you're missing the fact that we meet in DC, in Pittsburgh, in Houston. I'm not sure where everybody else is because I'm kind of, I'm here in DC and it's an election coming up, so I'm kind of tethered to this area. But that's it in a nutshell. And I think that folks around the country are doing a fabulous job of pushing back very strongly, very quickly, and very effectively, and saying, I am not a Russian bot. My people came from, personally, my people came from Alabama. They went to Pittsburgh. Many of my other people went to the south side of Chicago, where they remain to this day. And even other family members of mine who came from the fields in Tennessee wound up in New York. So unless you were somebody who stole my family here, I have been on these shores longer than you, and the debt which we are owed has never been made whole. And this ADOS movement and this uh, ADOS hashtag is one that makes it very clear that we are here ready for that which is due us.
Absolutely. And my thing is, when I watched the interview, I could almost, if she was this objective third party, I'm just collecting the data, I'm just numbers, this, give that, because we understand data.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Well, yeah.
she put some editorialization on it. Oh, and if you look at and you look at anybody talking about a black agenda and this, that, and the other, you really need to be suspect of these people. And how silly is it that we would have somebody saying that a group of people, tangibles for that group, a group of people saying, you know what, we've given our votes away year after year. I think we deserve something back. That group would be suspect. You know what? Once again, I just don't understand. No, wait a minute. I do
We
understand.
know why this is.
Yeah,
We know why this is. I mean, as goes past, has been. Now, fixing that and changing it in the future is, I think, a big component of this particular movement. But Black people in these United States are pretty much the only people who are viewed as, outside, despite the fact that we've been here this long. We are the only people who, when we stand up and say, we are not talking about anyone, here is our claim to us, we are forced to accommodate and include everybody else. Now, I'm uh, I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. Inclusion is a fine thing. Inclusion is wonderful, but I challenge you to show up at any school board meeting and listen to the agenda, and when a representative of the yeshiva stands up and says, this is what we want for our girls. Here's the education that our girls are getting, and we are residents here in the city. We are taxpayers in the city. This is what we need for our girls. Everyone says, okay, well, we've heard the rabbi very well. Um, nobody, no, everybody gets that. There are certain things that a yeshiva would need and have access to that maybe the larger community would not. But when Black people, and I'm looking at my Chicago family, when Black people stand up and say at school board meetings, whatnot, this is what we need for our girls, this is what we need for our boys, it's not heard the same way. It's, well, wait a minute. Why are you asking for special? Why are you asking for distinct? Why? Hold on. All children need. And it's like, yeah, of course, all children need. Every child deserves. However, when you look at who is not graduating, when you look at who is over criminalized, when you look at who is penalized for normal child behavior, when you look at who has armed police in their schools. But when you look at who has done the school shootings, I would argue that there's a disconnect there in terms of resources allocated and policing allocated. And when you have Black people standing up for Black children, that and I'm using the school board example because I
Yeah.
covered school boards for a very long time. That whole big tent, every child matters, does not come up when the rabbi speaks about the yeshiva. It comes up when, sister, when my sister stands up to talk for my children.
I love it. I love it. My sister says, Miss AWS Noah says, who cares if anyone else doesn't like it, sister? I couldn't have said that better myself. And so as we come to this, like I said, so just be aware, this is the first of many. There will be many more attacks. So let's not jump out the window. Let's not get too crazy. Let's just use this as practice. There's a little mild chin check to kind of remind us that, hey, it's coming. It's coming. And so this is not to be expected. So one of the things that we can do now, we can definitely let Joy know how unpleasant and unhappy we are. Also, MSNBC, we're going to give them the business as well, because unless you can present facts and data that we are bots, we're not real, that we have some kind of other agenda, we're gonna need an apology. So we're gonna look forward to that. We're gonna keep an eye on this story because, as I said, this is just the beginning. So Joyless Reid, yeah, we're gonna be coming for you, sister. So just get ready. And with that being said, we're gonna go from I almost hesitate to say this. We're going from dumb to dumber. And so we're now going to talk a little bit about Miss Oprah Winfrey. Oh, Miss Noprah, you know what? You thought this let me be nice. I got my sister in the room, so I'm going to be nice tonight. You would have thought that she would have gotten enough of the backlash, not the backlash, the backlash from that hit piece that she did on Michael Jackson. But no. Oprah's now doubling down. She said, you know what? If you like it, I love it. Let me see who else I can dig up. Now, she didn't go to Harvey Weinstein. No. That really would have been something of note. That really would have been interesting. But no, I guess that was, yeah, we know Oprah. We know where that money coming from. So Oprah says, you know what? Let me dig through the trash can and let me see what other black men that I can find. Now, let me say this up front. This is not even about taking Russell Simmons' side and whether he was guilty or not guilty. Understand that you have to think higher than that. This is not about that. This is about a concerted effort on Mrs. Oprah Winfrey's part to just make black men the face of sexual assault. Let me read a little bit about this story. Channel 24, Oprah Winfrey to produce documentary on Russell Simmons' sexual assault allegations. 2 years ago, several women came forward with sexual assault allegations against musical producer Russell Simmons. Now, media mogul Oprah Winfrey has teamed up. She's teamed up, tag team, with Apple TV to produce a documentary that will give some of these women a platform to tell their stories. I like to give them a platform. Okay, we're not giving Weinstein's women a platform. Now, I guess they don't need to be. Okay. Anyway, it said, according to the LA Times, the documentary will follow a former music executive who is battling with whether to go public with her story of assault and abuse by a notable figure in the entertainment industry. NBC News reported that the documentary is described as a profound examination of race, gender, class, and intersectionality, and the toll assaults take on their victims and society at large. Abused as a child, Oprah is vocal about her support of movements such as Me Too. Watch it. The face of Me Too. Watch it now. And Time's Up. Watch it. She also hosted an HBO-owned special where she interviewed Wade Robinson and James Safechuck, the subject of the riveted, probably supposed to be riveting, but anyway, documentary Leaving Neverland, which explores sexual abuse allegations against Michael Jackson. Watch it. You seeing a pattern here? Me Too, Time's Up, or Kelly?
Okay. My brother, we family. We going to disagree here. I think we go. Okay. I think we going to butt heads a little bit right through here.
Okay, come on with it, sister.
All right. Okay, Oprah Winfrey, #1 talk show hostess in the history of the planet. Okay, she decides it's time for me. I'm gonna go off on my OWN on my Oprah Winfrey Network. Right? What happened at Oprah Winfrey Network? Didn't do so well, did it?
Pardon me? I said, think she had to sell some of it back, didn't she?
Well, see, somebody who knows. Okay, so didn't do so well. Now she got,
Didn't do it.
some shows that are doing nicely, but now again, Oprah comes from journalism. Oprah is actually a journalist. She took what she did and got hired in Chicago to butt heads with Phil Donahue when what's his name, Roger Ebert, she and Roger Ebert went on a date when she moved from Baltimore to Chicago. It wasn't a love connection, but it was a business connection. And Roger Ebert put her on to his people, said, you can never beat Phil Donahue, but do whatever it is you want. And she had the ability and the money and the backing to come up with her show. Okay. The shows that did really well tended to arguably in those early days tended to exploit victims. Come on here and talk about how your daddy did this, talk about how you were acid attacked, talk about all these things. I
Mm-hmm.
will argue that some of that was very helpful. A lot of it, I will argue, caused a lot of that trauma porn that we can continue to see today. So that's
Mm-hmm.
Oprah's background to where she is. She has this network. She did this documentary about Michael Jackson. There's there's litigation happening now. They had to retract a lot of what was in it because those accusers recanted. Those accusers had been discredited in the past. Now, big, big, big disclaimer on my part. I don't care who you are, if you're an abuser, I have nothing good for you. I wish evil things onto abusers. I have no problem admitting that. I will say, though, if we have to think about a really popular documentary that literally changed the face of this Me Too story and put it back to Black women, put it back to Tarana Burke, who started that hashtag Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had her on my show before Alyssa Milano took over the Me Too hashtag. So I black women started Me Too and haven't gotten the credit for it.
Absolutely.
Haven't gotten the credit for it. So pop quiz. Name me somebody in Chicago that had a documentary about all the foulness he did and all the harm he caused Black girls. What's his name?
That Mr. R.
Think.
Kelly.
Oh, I couldn't remember his name. Thank you for helping me, my brother. So, R. Kelly documentary did awesome. That demographic is as I am, did awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go to Weinstein? He's going to jail. There's bigger fish to fry. There's pictures of Oprah with Harvey Weinstein. Oprah also
Mm-hmm.
had pictures of her with Michael Jackson. She did a couple of shows with him. Um, but Russell Simmons, what does he have in common with R. Kelly? He's a Black man. He's known in music. He's adored and followed by beautiful, talented young women. Um, Black women are always ready to support other Black women. Huh. Russell Simmons could be a good person to do a documentary about and get some ratings for OWN, which needs that. So, I'm not going to knock her hustle. She a billionaire, and I just I only got one house, so there's that. She made her way up from the south. I'm still 250 miles from where I was born, but I
Mm-hmm.
say all that to say um men who abuse are the problem. you know um you go back to the movie, um shown at the White House about how Black men are abusive and lecherous, and the birth of a nation that wasn't the Nate Parker movie. That she Oprah
Yeah.
don't have a real good track record with abuse stories. A Million Little Pieces, Michael Jackson, Nate Parker. who did Birth of a Nation and admitted to raping a woman while he was at Penn State, and she later committed suicide. Um, I think Oprah's looking for a slam dunk redemption where she's not going to get sued by somebody who has more pull than she does. And I think this is also a way to bring about more Black women, bringing our stories to the forefront, which she can capitalize on. So I think this is a business decision, and it also works. It also works in terms of that redemption thing that Oprah needs. She needs to do an abuse story that manages to stick.
I got you, sister. I got you. And
I know.
like I said, no, we're about actually, man, 30 minutes in. I can't believe this thing went by so fast. I'm gonna let you say last words for you. We're gonna wrap it up. Hey guys, like I said, make sure you come back. We're gonna be doing this every Monday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And also make sure that you jump on Yvette's show. She's gonna be coming on 8:45-ish. So make sure that you jump on her show. I'm not sure what it's going to be about tonight, but whatever it is going to be hot. So, all right, sister, wrap it up. What are your last words? What are your thoughts?
Hey, say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. I miss James Brown. I wish he was around. I'm no poet. Clearly, y'all know it, but the tide is turning. We shall not be obscured forever. And I just, I think we need to make sure our children know that Nina Simone was not Zoe Saldana, and she sang our songs and she sang our pain and she was us. I think we need to recognize that we are the most beautiful, creative people in the history of the planet, and we will. What's a better word for overcome? I don't know. We coming up from the east side to the east side.
Awesome. Yes, we are. And my last words is, like I said, hey, make sure that you come back this way. We got some great comments. Hey, Jamila, I would invite you to after this get into there. I don't want to, because we'd be here all night long. Definitely, Bruce got some great comments. Ados North got some great comments. Here's what I'll say about Noprah. I do knock her hustle because you can't sell my people down the road, and I'm gonna feel good about it. I think she is a vulture. I think she preys upon Black people, and I think she is the white supremacist shield that they knew who to put in that place to activate when they needed to switch this and make this the face of Black men, make Black men the face of abuse. And so, yeah, I still love to see some on Weinstein. I don't care where you're going. But anyway, we're going to let that go. And we're going to come back with it next week, and we'll get this going and we'll talk about it. Sister, once again, before we go, where can they see your show at and listen to you some more?
Okay, so Thursdays, I'm on 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. WP, like Peter, WPFWFM.org. You can stream it if you're in DC, WPFW on your dial. And I'm all over social media, and I love a good hearty debate. So you'll be hearing
I
from
bet
me.
you're gonna get one. All right. And hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you go to the ADOS event page, like that page, because that's where we're going to be sharing a lot of information. That's where all the information is going to be coming from. I see people, liking it. Thank you guys for all that. Thank you for all the interaction. Share this show, because we're just going to bring a lot more information back. All right, fam. And with that being said, we're actually going to go ahead and get off of here. Wish you a wonderful night. And I will see you over on Yvette's channel, Yvette Carnell's channel. See what she's going to be talking about tonight. All right, fam. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. And with that being said, I'm actually going to, as the pastor say, I'm going to end it this time. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Talk. Goodbye.
Indeed. Good night.